Paul Brown sits on a bench outside of his son Aiden's school every Tuesday and Thursday during recess. This is the only time that Paul gets to see his son besides the once-a-month visit that Aiden's mother allows him to have. She is dating someone else now, and she doesn't want Paul to threaten the family she's trying to make with her new boyfriend. Paul wants to see his son more, but was never married to Aiden's mother, leaving him with no rights without her permission. If she never allows him more visitation, Paul will know his son best from the other side of the fence. Another man will father his child when he wants so badly to do it to himself. Aiden regards the right to have a good relationship with both his mother and his father, regardless of the relationship between the two of them. In the next few minutes, I will tell you how you can help fathers like Paul have the right to be fathers to their children. It is crucial that something be done. The number of kids born to unwed parents jumped to over 1.4 million children by 2004. These children are fatherless when some of them have fathers who want to be able to be a part of their lives. Fathers are being stripped of the opportunity to help raise their own children. A mother should not have the right to take this away from a father without legitimate reasoning. After researching the rights that unwed fathers have and exploring many options on how they can get the rights that they deserve, there seems to only be one way to fix the problem. Today I have shown you the problems with the lack of the rights for unwed fathers, a legitimate solution, and why it will help these fathers and their biological children have a relationship that they deserve. Let's begin by looking at some of the problems that come from unwed fathers who are unable to legitimize their children because the mothers will not give them consent. This raises issues regarding the rights of both the children and the father, and could also cause serious consequences for the entire family. First and foremost, the child's best interest is the main concern. It is unhealthy for children to grow up without both of their parents. If the parents could have a healthy relationship for the sake of their child, everyone will benefit. When co-parenting alliances are formed between adults during infancy and early childhood, children and families derive substantial benefit. Mothers report greater parenting efficiency, fathers show more positive engagement, and infants and toddlers develop better socio-emotional development. This lack of policy also affects the child's natural rights. Children have the right to know their parents take responsibility for them, and second, that a child has the right to know who his or her parents are. In regards to the father, he is being stripped of the rights that he should have over his biological children, simply because he is unmarried to the mother, leaving her all the power regarding his child. In recent years, some biological fathers have claimed that because of the mother's lack of cooperation, they have not found any way to meet the court's demand that a biological father who wants to retain his parental rights and enjoy the blessings of the parent-child relationship act to grasp the opportunity to develop a relationship with his offspring by assuming some responsibility for the child's future. The power that the mother has over the biological father poses a serious problem, especially when a new man enters her and her child's lives. By law, the mother has the right to prevent the father from having any rights. For the biological father, this means that he can be denied access to his child simply because the mother doesn't want him around. In a recent study, it was found that mothers also restrict access to children if they perceive fathers as interfering with their new relationship. This is unfair to the biological father because he is stripped of rights by no fault of his own. Now that you understand the seriousness of the problem, I will show you how we can prevent these problems from occurring in the future. I propose that a law be implemented so that unwed fathers who unwillingly acknowledge their children are able to gain rights through legitimizing their children without the consent of his mother. In this law, if a father has willingly acknowledged his child and shows interest being involved in his child's life, he is able to gain rights such as visitation and custody agreements without any consent of the mother. If the mother does not willingly agree, then a hearing will take place with both parents present. If the mother is unable to present legitimate reasoning as to why the biological father is unfit to parent that are specifically related to the best interests of the child, such as drug use or a bad living environment, then the father may legitimize his children regardless of her opinion. The father must also be able to show that he is indeed able to father his child by undergoing an investigation process, which includes drug testing, by an employee of DFACS. This will ensure that the father actually deserves the rights that he is about to receive. The most common objection towards this right will come from the concern of the mother's rights over the father's. However, this complaint does not always take into account the best interests of the child and often stems from maternal gatekeeping. Both the mother and the father should have equal rights when it comes to their children. It took both of them to make the child, so it should take both of them to raise the child. This law asks that the relationship between the parents be of no importance because the child should come first. Parents do not have to live together in order for their father to take an active role in the upbringing of their child. And parents should realize that even when they do not have a close relationship with each other, they should both play an active supportive role in their children's lives. We have seen what is happening to father-child relationships, and we have also seen how to fix these problems by giving the fathers the rights that they deserve. Why should you support this potential law? Unwed fathers will have the opportunity to parent their child when they may not have had that option before. The child will be able to know his father and have him as an active part of his or her life, which is healthier for the child. The mother will no longer be able to restrict a father's natural rights without a legitimate cause. If this is not implemented, fathers will continue to have no say in their biological children's lives. The children will miss out on the experience of having a father as an active part of their lives, or even knowing him in general. If you choose to support this law, both the children and the parents in these types of situations will be able to have a strong relationship that they could have otherwise been denied. I encourage you to write a letter to President Barack Obama asking him to support the legislation of this law. Today I have shown you the problem with the lack of rights for unwed fathers, a legitimate solution, and why it will help these fathers and their biological children have a relationship that they deserve. By taking action now, we can allow fathers and children like Paul and Aiden, who I mentioned earlier, have a close relationship regardless of what the biological mother has to say about it.